Hello, we're gonna start a painting session, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint the, I think it's called, the Great Thaumaturge from the brand that I'm not gonna mention because the owner's kind of evil. So what I did is, I don't normally paint sub-assemblies, but in this case I have the main guy over here. I have the hand with the book. I have the page that goes with him. And I have the horse. So I don't know if I'm gonna paint the whole thing or just show you how I paint faces, which is something that I think might be interesting for some people. I don't know. So basically, this is my wet palette. It's a little bit untidy, let's put it like that. I'm going to show you that I mostly only use 3 paints. I don't normally like to use many paints. But anyway, so the only thing I did with this is I primed them with black with the airbrush, and then I hit them with a white spray. It's looking grey because, well, the mixture, I suppose. And then what I do is I have 3 colors here that I use. You can use more, you can add more, it's up to you. I have my cat here wanting to come. I'm not talking to you, and there's no room in the... Well, he's gonna come anyway. So basically what I have is the base color, which I think is medium flat stone. It can be whatever you want. Any flat stone works. Then I use flat flesh, which is, I suppose, an elf tone, or I don't know how it's called in other brands. Then just white. What we're gonna do is, with this strand, it's gonna go over the whole skin. The only other thing that I add is Seraphim sepia or any kind of sepia tone wash mixed with blue, but I'm going to show you the process. So it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. Do you have paint here? Let's start from the beginning. So you just say, is that the tail of the cat? Yeah, it's going to make a mess. So just put some medium flat stone here. Yeah, he's gonna. ¿Quieres ser el protagonista? Is he looking at the camera? Oh my god. This is not working. Could you please come over here? I can't believe this is happening. Okay, bye. So, well, the channel is painted with a cat, so a lot of water added to the first flat stone. Just cover the face. When I paint only the face, you will do the same thing with the hands and all the parts. The skin tones. So we're going to focus on the face right now. And it's very, very thin. I really like thick. When I see thick coats of paint, it's just a style, it's up to you. I'm going to do the hand too, because we have to wait for the first layer to dry and settle down. But because it's quite warm today, it's settled up quite nicely. This is a bit complicated because the guy's covering his face with the glasses, man. It's gonna be hard to paint the eyes. I don't know if we're gonna paint them at all or not. I suppose we will. Let's get the hand. I have a spider in my hand now. Every animal from this house wants to be in the video. Painting. Hand too. And now again, we call the face. Until we're satisfied with the color we want. Don't forget the ear. It's not complicated, and we're using quite a big breast now. There's a tube from a brand called Skoda. I like the cars. Okay, it's looking nice. Well, the hand. Which, to be honest, we should paint the hand after painting the book, but whatever. Some more paint on top. Oh, we got it ready. What we're gonna do now, and with the same brush, you can do it with the same brush. Add some of the lighter flesh tone. I'm gonna mix both a bit. We want some contrast too. This part is not as important as the second one. We're gonna try to focus on the sharper details. Ears, cheekbones. Can't see his nose too well. In any case, it will be covered by the hand and the glasses. We're gonna do the rest of the head now. Okay, we get it. Here too. Now we're gonna try to do the same with the hand. Obviously picking on the fingers, on knuckles. If you make any mistakes, don't worry too much, because we're gonna come now with the shades. It's quite fast to do, and the results are nice, but if you're in a hurry or you're painting whole unit, you can skip some of these steps if you want. You could just paint with the first skin tone we've used and just add the sepia tone. Okay, it's not looking bad, but it's nothing amazing. It's just like plain old dude. I'm gonna do the same with his other hand, his left hand. Let's take off some of the water excess because it's too liquid. We're gonna add some to the hand, which is very nicely sculpted. Very good view for the counting tin. So now what you can do is do the whole process and start with the white, or add the wash, the ink, whatever you want to use. Let's put some white. Now only the finer details. So you can see I added too much water, so I will have to rectify that later on, which I would do, so don't worry too much. Eyebrows, double the head, and it's not looking perfect. That's not the idea. These are the foundations for what we're gonna do later. So it's too white now, perhaps. But as it dries out, the saturation of the color is gonna vanish a little bit. It's gonna be more subtle. We now have the hand. This eyebrow too. Let's do the same. This is how it is looking now. The only last thing we have to do is with the hand that is holding the pages of the book. Which, to be honest, thinking about the book, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if it's going to be something magic, which will make sense. Then it looks more like something related to the Empire than Britannia, which is the current project, but no. Tips of the fingers. That's how it's looking now. Could be okay like that, if you like it. But we want more character and more contrast to this face. Now comes the important part. Our part are sort of important. So what we have here is I have a game Color Wars from Vallejo. Shake it. It could be Seraphim Sepia. Apparently the guy who showed me how to do this did it with Seraphim Sepia, but when I went to get it, they didn't have it at the store, and it was Easter, and I wanted to paint and try this technique. So we have some Seraphim Sepia, and now you should add some blue ink, but I don't have that ink. So what I do is add a bit of, in this case this is Prussian, dark Prussian blue. Could be any blue, depends on how you like it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna mix both, and the intention is to give the Seraphim Sepia some blue so it looks kind of cold color. I'm gonna add it to the whole. If there's not enough blue, so it's up to you, but if there's not enough blue, just add a bit. It's gonna look weird. I suppose it's not for everybody, but I really like the result. You can rectify, add more blue or less, depending on how you want it to look. For me, it looks a little bit Baroque, like a Greco maybe, I don't know. We add some more of this mixture to the hand. Okay, and it's gonna look a little different, I think. And while we wait, we can start painting other parts of the face. So something that happens sometimes when you're painting faces is that you don't see the whole result until you paint the whole, not only the face, but the things around it. In this case, bird. So what I'm going to do is paint with some dark chocolate brown from Vallejo. And because I have to wait, start painting the bird. So this could be grayish because he's kind of old, but I think that what I want to do is to keep it brown and then add some gray tones to show that he's kind of old and tired, like me after Tuesday, every Tuesday. Isn't Tuesday the worst day of the week?
What about Sundays?
The Sundays are okay.
Well, maybe for you.
Sundays are okay. Compared to a Tuesday at least.
They are the worst.
Yeah, because Wednesday you're almost there.
Almost where?
The weekend.
Yeah, close to the Sunday.
Thursday is you can taste Friday already. And Monday is Monday, so you take it for granted that you're gonna hate it. But oh my gosh, Thursdays are okay, but Tuesdays, oh my gosh. Okay, so we're just painting it to have kind of the sense of the whole overall colors that we're having. And now we have to come to a finer brass. In this case, this is too fine. This is too fine. It's a zero from Green Stuff or it's a Golinsky.
Your best friend.
Yeah, okay, thank you. But I kind of like it. So what we're gonna do is there's one step here that you could follow, which is adding some. You want to add more contrast. Now we're gonna do it. So since I'm here, let's do this. You get some gray. In this case, this is neutral gray from Vallejo. Okay, you shake it. Then you pour it close to the blue and the brown. You don't need that much. So I think I lied because I said only 3 colors and we already have 4 or so. So what you're gonna do is you want to combine the gray and the brown. And you are going to do a process which is it's like putting it where where you want it is shadow to be in the shade. You're gonna put it here, this recess, the ears, inside of the ears. Here, the mouth. The washes got to the wrinkles, but we're gonna add it anyway. What we're doing by adding this contrast is emphasizing the recess on the recess in the miniature. So now we have it. Now you might be thinking, it looks weird. That's what we want. This is fantasy, right? So we're going to start the whole process again. What? Yeah, I'm sorry, but we're going to go with the first one we had, which is the neutral tone. You can have bigger brush, but I don't want to mess up. So what we're going to do is start with picking up the more prominent parts. If you leave it like that, which is okay, he's going to look half dead, which is good for undead other armies perhaps, or if you want to show someone who's real sick. What we're gonna do is add it to the miniature so it looks like a human again, like he's alive. Gonna do it with every part. Of the body. And if you see closer to the clothes, we're not going to paint. We're not going to paint the side of where the fingers are, because we want some contrast. We want to give that impression. Let's go to the face again. So we're going to pick up the ear here, the eyebrows, and the wrinkles in the eyebrow. Has to be kind of careful here. You mess up, just correct it with the mixture of gray and brown. It's not a big deal. Here you don't have to paint a whole head because the top is going to be have more light, but do at least where it's closer to the hair. Cheekbones again on the front. Okay. Maybe do this too much contrast here. It's too gray. We can appreciate the nose here. Just try to imagine how you want the miniature to look in your face. For example, for me, this is too gray here. Okay, I think I don't want it to look that gray. Here in the mouth, I don't think I want it to look that gray either. Here the same. Okay, first step. Now get some of the lighter skin mixed with the neutral one. Start picking up the details. Just less surface every time. We want to imitate how the light will work. I mix both colors accidentally, but it's okay. The upper lip and a bit of the lower lip. So you have to be patient because painting faces is the most important part of the miniature normally, because this is where the eyes goes. Humans tend to go to the face of another human or an anthropomorphized image or statue or whatever. If you are not looking at someone's face when you're speaking to them, don't speak to them at all. That's rude. Okay. Let's get the nose, the bridge of the nose that we have here. The eyebrows too. And the top of the head, because we want this part to be quite light. Water. Look at the coats are being really thin. So you mess up with a thin layer, you can even erase it with your whole finger. You don't know how well you can appreciate the color. It's looking much better. Interesting and realistic. I think that's what we're aiming for. I forgot the other hand, but I don't want this video to be 40 minutes, so. Finger holding the glass. The glasses, you have it. Now we're gonna add some white to the mixture. here again depends on how white, pale you want the guy to be. Yeah, we'll imagine that he's quite pale because he's all the time in his tower library studying, reading, all the jazz. There's a bit of the whatever story you want to tell with your miniatures, which I think is the most fun for me, is imagining what is the story of these characters. Because they're your miniatures, you can make up whatever you want. This is white mixed with pale flesh. I'm gonna put it on the nose and the eyebrows. And we're gonna do this. Only the top two fingers, the index and thumb. Now we're gonna go with just plain white. Move the water excess. Just plain white to the top of the ear, cheekbone, lip, eyebrow again. And I'm thinking only the left eyebrow. The nose. And the top of the head. It's a lot of water. I'm gonna add it here. A little bit more here. Now the last details. So the last details are the bird. So of course we have the brown bird over there, but what I want to do is mix a bit of brown, gray. It's a lot of water, and pretend it's a bit of, he hasn't saved that well. You can correct this with some flesh tones. So for example, in my opinion, this is looking too grayish. So we're gonna add some more of the skin tones, more subtle. And the last thing we're going to do, and that's why I feel that I cheated. Gonna add some red. Any red will do. Now I wonder why I'm gonna add some red. It depends. You can justify it because it's cold, or because it's hot and they're sunburned, or because they're drunk. It's up to you. In this case, sometimes I put it on the lips. This guy, because this is all, you don't really see the lips. So what we're gonna do is try first in a safe place, like the ear. It has to look almost pink, not red. Depends contrast you want? A little bit like that. A little bit in the other ear that we almost don't see. And bit on the nose, I would say. And now, on cheeks, but we want him to look old and a bit sick, so not a lot. Just to add some variety to the face. I don't even know if you're seeing it because it's really, really subtle. And a bit, let's try it, a bit on the lip. Last part on the knuckles. And this is where we end. This tats. Can't even see his hand trembling. Holding the glasses and trembling. You could paint the eyes now. I think we're gonna try with the one that we see. Some white. Not some black at the tip of the eye. I would advise not to paint the eyes on the miniatures because no one's gonna notice. But whatever, if you can do it, let's try it. Why not? So just do a tiny bit over there. I'm gonna come with some of this to fix it because now it looks like a comic character. There you go. I don't know if you can see it well. Try to post a picture. Where are you? That will be all. Thank you.